Good evening, Gills fans. Welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV. Apologies for no Monday review. I've had a busy week at work, so wasn't in the mood Monday, I won't lie. As I say, I do apologise. Back now with Boz. A couple of bits to talk about. Barnsley quickly last Saturday because we've not seen each other since. Then we move on. We've got Portsmouth to talk about and a couple of bits in the paper as always. But we'll go back to last Saturday first. We said last Thursday, didn't we? It was going to be a tough game. Purely on the fact that they're very good and the fact that we haven't won there for 50 years. But you said 2-2 and I said 1-1. So unfortunately I got our bit right and you got their bit right. So as we all know, we lost 2-1. But again, we ended up chasing the game, didn't we, unfortunately. There's been a lot of talk about Thomas Holy. Didn't cover himself in glory for the first. And I think Lovell went to town on him a little bit, which I thought was a little bit harsh. I don't know what your take on it was.
Oh, I thought he could have done better. Because
yeah, totally agree.
It wasn't like there was a lot of bodies between him and the ball and the striker, was there?
Yeah, and it's near post, which is where he is as well.
But if he's got a weakness in his game, that is it, isn't it? He's getting down low quick.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Thomas is. I think someone put on Facebook that he come out on his Facebook page and apologised. But for me, didn't a certain Adrian Pennock get absolutely battered on social media by our fans last season when he come out in the press and started having a pop?
Yeah.
It has to be consistency. And Elliot List took a bit of a pounding as well for the penalty.
I'm not convinced it was.
Yes, he lost his runner, but for me it's a dive.
If he goes down when the contact's made, you go, yeah, 100%. But he kind of...
There was about 3 more steps afterwards. There was 3 more steps afterwards, and he thought, oh, I can't get a shot off, so I'm just going to fall over and pretend I'm not running towards the ball. That's what it looked like to me.
There was a couple of tweets from Barnsley fans saying they got away with it because it wasn't a penalty.
It was horrendous, and apparently we should have had one as well in that game.
I haven't seen.
I do believe I haven't seen it, but there was stuff on social media. But
again, it sounds like we only picked up when we got the goal. Yeah,
it took us going 2 goals behind again, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But in terms of Steve Lovell, our manager, we keep going back to it. Said at the Q&A, doesn't like wingers. We've played, I think it's 3 of the last 4 games down the league. We've played for periods of time with 4-4-2, and Saturday for me was a little bit of selection suicide. We went with 4-4-2, 2 central midfielders, and effectively 4 strikers. We had 2 up top and 2 on the wing, Brandon Hanlon and Josh Parker. You're asking for trouble at the best of times, but against a side that's just come out of the Championship, it's one of the favourites to go up for me. I think that then led to Steve Lovell having a pop at his players to perhaps deflect a little bit of attention away from himself, because I think he might have realised that he'd got it wrong.
Quite possibly, yeah. I put it on Twitter and a lot of people did, and I said it's either going to go very right and we're going to smash them, or we could end up in trouble. And we were 2-0 down before half time.
Yeah, and then like you said, in fairness, we scored the goal second half, and for all the reports and the highlights and what we've seen on Quest and what Matt puts on his Twitter feed, there was only one side in it last half hour. So you just think if you'd just been in the game at half time, yeah, there's a very good chance we could have come away with a point, which would be a really good result up there at any time this season. But again, it was too much to do.
If we'd have been in the game for 90 minutes and we lost 2-1, you go, fair dues. But it took us that long again to get going, and we kind of did this under Edinburgh, I think, at one stage where it took us to keep coming behind. Yeah,
we did, didn't we? Yeah, and you only get away with it for so long, and I just think it needs to change. I just think we need to be more stable. Yeah, that's going to be one this week. We'll get on to team news in a little while. But back page of Medway Messenger today. It's time to deliver. That is Steve Lovell's rallying cry, and he goes on to say, results don't lie. We've had a tough start. We started well and lost a couple of games against some of the better sides in the league. Now we are coming up against sides in and around us. We have to start picking up points, and hopefully we will start Saturday, but it will be tough. Like you just said, going back to Edinburgh at the end of his reign, especially Adrian Pennock, we couldn't pick up points against sides that were in and around us, and that's why we've spent probably the best part of 2 years in the bottom third of the table.
We have probably played, in Sunderland and Barnsley, we've probably played the top 2 this season. Yeah,
they're going to be right up there. Burton come down, so they're no mugs, and we were very good against them. Accrington was a really good result. We've said this already, and I don't think either of us sitting here and saying it's a crisis by any means.
Well, no, I don't think it is, but I think the next 2 or 3...
I was going to say, I think Saturday's now suddenly a little bit more pivotal than it could have been. And we've said before, if we'd perhaps not won the first 2 and the form had been sort of win, draw, lose, lose, win, draw or something like that, it wouldn't have looked so bad. But the fact it's now 6 games without a win, I think in all competitions, it just looks like, obviously, we're going in one direction, which is a bit frustrating. But yeah, we've not... had a disastrous start, and I think we mentioned on Reece and James's podcast the other week, if we take around half the points available all season, we'd be absolutely fine. So if we win Saturday, we've got 10 points from 21. It's mid-table, isn't it? So it's by no means a disaster, so I don't want anyone to start caning us or whatever saying we're being negative, because we're not, but we do need to start picking up points when we're playing well. Sunderland, we played really well. We lost 4-1. Oddly, probably the worst performance that we've seen this season was Coventry.
Yeah.
Unless you're counting Pompey on the box, but I'll let you talk about that in a minute. And we got bashed. And then Coventry, sorry, that was Sunderland, and then Coventry was probably one of our worst performances. We ended up picking up a point due to Elliot List's brilliance. But yeah, I'm going to let you talk a little bit now. Portsmouth, you paid £10 for the privilege on Tuesday.
I wasn't planning on it, and I saw the team, and I thought I'm quite intrigued to see how it goes. So yeah, I did. I forked out the £10, and for 40 minutes, it wasn't all that bad.
That's all the reports I've read, is it we were really good for the first 40.
List should have had a penalty in the first half. Keeper absolutely cleaned him out. The keeper even sort of stands back because he thinks it's going to be. He doesn't go to get the ball for a goal.
That's the thing for me. A lot of times you can tell from the defender or keeper's reaction if they think it's a penalty or not by the way they sort of jump up. One of them's this, isn't it? Get your hands out of the way if you're a defender. So
first half positives. Wilkinson and List, they linked up pretty well. I think Wilkinson only had one shot, but he put himself about. He won his fair share of tackles. Stevenson, I said to you, was decent as well. He was a little bit sloppy in the first half, but he got better as the game wore on.
Who was it second half? I saw a bit of the highlights. Was it him or was it Ben Chapman that Nashi released and he just had a massively poor over at the touch and it just ran through to Luke McGee?
Yeah.
I've got a visitor here in the studio. Carry on.
Conor Ogilvie wasn't awful, despite the fact we conceded 4 goals. Aaron Simpson, first half was very good. Second half, at 2-0, a lot of the team just second half, they just sort of gave in. Obviously, Hadler doesn't cover himself in a lot of glory for the first.
I was going to say, it looks like he's come a long way and he didn't get anywhere near it, unfortunately. But
it just seemed to be one of their nights for him. I think they hit the bar, and I think if it had been on target, I don't think he was going to get to it.
So it's a similar pattern to his debut against Blackpool then, because they hit the bar early on, didn't they? And then he didn't, in one bounced off him, if we remember, end of last season, and we said at the time maybe he could have done better. It's just a shame because he's a really good keeper. I don't think it helps him having. It wasn't the regular back four, was it? It was very, very. I think I said to someone on Facebook today, it reminded me a lot of the Maidstone Kent Cup game last year. We made a lot of changes, and then suddenly people say, "Hang about the backup players or whatever you want to call them, the fringe players. If they all go in together, they're not quite up to it."
No.
And it's all right having maybe 1 or 2 tweaks here and there.
I think we said this before with the youngsters, didn't we? That you can probably afford to stick 1 or 2 in, but you can't.
You can't be going making 8, 9 and 10 and expecting to be competing. I think I read today.
The youngsters were, but I mean, Oldacre, I think I said during the group chat, he started quite poorly. He got better.
So I see a couple of things again. I don't like digging him out. There was a couple where it just looked like he was hanging his leg out and not really putting in proper challenges.
One thing I will say in his defence is he did try and keep up his defensive duties.
That's good to hear then.
He did track back a couple of times. I think he helped out O'Neill on the right. Yeah, because he plays as a holding player, which I thought was odd, but we've seen that with Dean Curry.
So was it a diamond then?
It was a diamond with Nasseri at the tip.
Reece and Stevenson, was it?
Josh Reece again. I didn't really notice he was on the pitch much, and I've said that at Ebbsfleet, I didn't really realise he was on.
But then all the reports out of Barnsley last week, he was decent when he came on. So
there was one in the first half where I think he beat his man. You think, go on, cross it, and the cross was poor. It's just like a hoofed ball to the keeper. Like he may get better with minutes.
Of course, yeah, like anyone.
He was probably the one that didn't really impress me too much in the first half. Second half, probably 9 of them dropped.
It's a month behind as well, though, unfortunately, if we're trying to stick up for him a little bit, because he's missed pretty much all the half of pre-season. So.
Very, very good again. In the second half, I think he tries to do what he did against Coventry. I think he beat 2 or 3. I think they just got the foot in just before he got the ball across goal. But he beat 2 or 3. He stayed on his feet and he was quick, and he's the biggest positive to come out of that for me.
Yeah, we'll all learn, of course, and that's what Steve Lovell said. And it is a competition that I think I tweeted Wednesday morning. It's like Millwall. It's not a result that's going to define our season.
I think we are probably going to treat it as like a development.
I think Steve Lovell said in here he will play the kids most of the time and get their minutes. And one kid who did get on is coming up on your screen right now. Miguel Scarlett, first team debut. I think he got last 10, 15 minutes or something. Come on for Alex Lacey. So well done, young man. It's good to see. What we've already said.
Started a little bit nervously, but then he did start getting forward.
And he's come on at what, 4-0 down?
Yeah.
Or 3-0? 3 or 4. He's out of the game, unfortunately. It's always tricky, but excellent stuff. It's another youngster that's coming through and hopefully can push on and You know, we're not saying he's going to be regular, are we, of course? But
No,
it's another
I
one
think he was in the
that's
squad
showing
once or
promise.
twice last season, so they must see something in him.
That's good to see. Yeah, there was a few bits. I tweeted after the game and just said, by no means a crisis, but there's a couple of patterns starting to form that I'm probably just a little bit concerned about. We scored 5 in our first 2 games of the season. We've only scored 4 in our last 6, despite the fact that we seem to be over-attacking all the time.
We didn't look like scoring at Pompey, to be honest. 1 or 2 in the first half, but...
So do you take it with a pinch of salt because it's a reserve side or whatever, but winning breeds confidence and losing doesn't at the end of the day.
I think I said after the game that a few of them were probably auditioning for this weekend and not many came out with a lot of credit.
That was probably the general consensus
There was a lot of
Twitter.
They were okay performances, but no one really stood out.
No one stood out again. So again, I'll go back to Maidstone last season. Defensively though, we were really good last season. We've conceded 13 in 6 games since Burton, which is a little bit worrying. It's over 2 a game. We've conceded 4 twice now. Again, Portsmouth, a slightly different kettle of fish. We played a reserve side, and Sunderland, but it's still shipping goals, isn't it, at the end of the day? And we've gone 2 behind in 4 of the last 6, which we've already touched on, and then we're having to play catch up all the time, which makes it doubly hard, doesn't it? Because you've then got to be open, and the chances are you get caught on a counter attack again, and that happened at Portsmouth, it happened against Sunderland. But again, by no means a crisis, but I think we just need that win now, don't we? Just for everyone to go, yeah, we're still all right. We've been playing okay. We've played some good sides, and we can win football matches again. And with that, let's have a chat about these who are coming to town on Saturday at Wimbledon, and they visit the Medway Priestfield Stadium. A bit like Friends Reunited, I think, at the weekend.
It's getting that way. It's been like it for a few seasons now.
Yeah, we do sort of help each other out. Obviously, Cody McDonald won't be there, but there is a few that we'll get to. But in terms of us first, I do league form. We've played 3 at home, we've taken 4 points from 9. They've played 3 away, they've taken 4 points from 9. If you're looking for goal fests, don't go to Wimbledon games on the road. They've scored 1 and conceded 3. In fact, they scored 1 in one game. They conceded all 3 in one game. They got battered by Burton, and I think they've beaten Fleetwood and drawn with Barnsley. So it's a very good result if you're comparing it to our recent away visit. We were a little bit more prolific at home. We scored 5 in 3 games, but we've obviously conceded 6, but 4 of them did come in 1. The other 2 games were Burton and Coventry, where we conceded 1 goal in each. Last season, 2 draws, so I think everything points towards the fact that it's going to be a pretty tight game. Oh yes, last year's home game, you was away, it was New Year's Eve, and I went with Simon. We were 2-1 up, and I remember we were defending, and I said to Simon, how's your nerves? And he said, oh, absolutely fine, we're generally defending quite well, and unless we do anything stupid. Then we switched off from a cross, and it ended up 2-2. But that's last season, we're on to this season. Team news, there's no Dean Parrott, there's no Regan Charles Cook, there's no Gabriel Zakwani, and that's all through to injury, and then there's no Josh Parker, who is on international duty.
I see could
50-50 apparently, which is a bit of a bonus, but I wouldn't start him.
Not a bad shout to have him on the bench.
It'd be a nice one to get him on the bench, because it's only been a fortnight, hasn't it, since Coventry. That would be a real bonus. And we said at the time, there's a difference between him, he realised it had gone and he got himself off sharpish, whereas Regan Charles Cook didn't, and apparently still 3 to 4 weeks away. Dean Parrott's the one though, he's been out for ages now.
We keep saying a week away, don't we?
It's been a week since it happened, I think, so, but he'll be back soon enough, I'm sure, with Aaron Morris. My team, I'm going to go slightly different this week. I'm going to play 4-3-3.
No, I'm going different. Go on then.
So I'm going to go Thomas Holy in goal. I'm going to keep Barry Fuller at right back. I just think we need to be more solid defensively, and Luke O'Neill I don't think is that type of right back. Max Amor and Alex Lacey, and then Bradley Garmston back in at left back. I would have 3 midfielders of Billy Bingham, Josh Reese and Callum Riley. And then I would have a front 3 of Brandon Hanlon, Tom Eves and Elliot List. And my bench would be Hadler, O'Neill, Ogilvie, Byrne, if he's fit, Nazary, Stevenson and Wilkinson.
Well, I think we'll go 3 at the back. I think he's going to want to tighten up.
So who's your 3 centre-backs then?
Amor, Lacey and Ogilvie.
You think he'd bring him in as the left side and play Amor in the middle?
Yeah. I think...
Fair enough.
I agree with you on the Fuller thing. I think he stays in because he played last Saturday, was it? And O'Neill played during the week, so
Yeah, so it would indicate that Fuller's ahead of him at the moment.
Obviously, Garn's at left wing back.
Okay.
Midfield three, probably the same as yours.
Right.
Reece, Bingham and Riley.
So you've got to take out one of Hanlon, Eves or List.
I would take out Hanlon myself.
Fair enough. So you'd have him on the bench instead of Conor Ogilvie, I'd imagine. Same subs?
Pretty much, yeah.
Fair enough. But yes, them, like we've already said, we've joked, friends reunited. Obviously we've got Barry Fuller, who joined in the summer. We've both had links to Codal McDonald over the last few years. Obviously he's not playing at the moment. I don't think he's got a club yet, has he?
Not that I know, it hasn't come out.
Which is a little bit surprising. I thought he might have got somewhere by now. They have 4 ex-Gills in their squad. Captain Deji Osalaja. Scott Wagstaff, who we released at the end of the season. I think he's featured in every game so far. Andy Barcham, we all know about. It's been classed the last 2 times he's come back. And he's walked right around the grade and clapped everyone. And Joe Piggott, a few people sort of turned their nose up at him, I think, when he went to Wimbledon from May. So he's got 4 and 8 this season. One of them's against West Ham. So he started really well. So it'd be ideal if he's rubbish on Saturday. And all the others, in fairness, as well. But again, it just points to a close game, doesn't it? The fact that we're going to know a lot about each other.
They don't have Lyle Taylor anymore, so that's one thing.
That's true. And there would have been Dean Parrott as well if he'd been fit.
Yeah.
So that could have been 6. But it will only be 5, it looks like.
They do have, is it James Hanson plays up front as well? He's a lump.
I don't know if he's playing. I don't know whether he's actually in the side or whether he's been on the bench, because I think they play Piggott and then 2 either, like one either side. But he's been good at this level, hasn't he, for a long time. He shouldn't have gone to Sheffield United, I don't think. And then he joined a really poor Bury side last season on loan. But I'm sure if he plays, he'll cause us problems. Right, it's that time. Predictions. I've written mine down, so if you do yours first, and then I will.
2-1 Gills. Tom Eves with both.
See, I nearly. 2-1 Gills. Tom Eves with. No, I didn't really. I've got Hanlon and List. I'm so desperate for Brandon Hanlon to score. So desperate for Brandon Hanlon to score. He deserves one. He was really good that I've seen him every time. He just needs a bit of luck, I think. Yes. All done. Everything caught up. We will be back Saturday at the ground for Match Day Live. We'll see a few of you in there, hopefully. Come and say hello. And until next time, please keep doing what you're doing. And up the Gills.